Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. If you're watching the live stream here on Manor College, I am really excited about today's alumni who we're going to be talking to. Her name is Gina DiSalvo Burke, and she is a proud Manor College graduate from the class of 1982. Gina grew up in Philadelphia and says that it was her experience at Manor where she expanded her knowledge of being in business and strengthened her desire to want to be an entrepreneur. And Gina has been a small business owner and entrepreneur for many, many years now. She currently owns a farmer's insurance agency and a really delicious and well-known local family restaurant in Glenside, TreVi Italian restaurant and winery, which hopefully many of you have had the chance to enjoy. We are really delighted to spend some time this afternoon talking to Gina, hearing about how Manor College played a part in her journey, and hopefully getting some great advice and encouragement from her. So welcome, Gina.
Hi.
Thank you for being with us today. So kind of start us off with, how did you hear about Manor, and why did you decide to choose that for your college?
I found out about Manor through my high school, Melrose Academy, and I was looking for a smaller campus, something local, and Manor fit that description. It was very close to where I lived. It was a small campus. It was Manor Junior College when I went there, and it was just for women. And that to me appealed to me at the time. And there was another girl that I went to school with as well, was going for the dental program. So it was attractive to me at the time. Yes.
Sure. So Gina attended Manor in the early 1980s, right? When we were still all female. We did not go co-ed until I believe later in the 80s. Okay, so you kind of knew someone, you heard about it from your high school. Tell us about your Manor experience. What were some things that you really remember as being maybe core memories or pivotal to your experience? What were you involved with on campus? What kind of classes did you enjoy? Tell us about that.
I really enjoyed the business courses, the economics, macroeconomics, learning how business works, my accounting class, all the business classes. There was one professor, and I can't remember his name. I keep trying to boggle my memory, but he was in business for himself. He taught many of the business classes, and his experience and what he brought to the classroom really resonated with me in what I wanted to do. And he really sparked an interest, and I was really inspired by him because he was running a restaurant. He owned a restaurant, and he, was teaching, as well. And it just really intrigued me. We also, when I was there, we started a business group. Business club. And I was the treasurer, and we did various fundraisers. So we raised money. We had a beef and beer. We took candy and gifts over to a shelter and raised money for that, and also for the club. So just really getting engaged with the Manor students and the community was, very, very important at the time. And now I look back at it and I see, a lot of the things I learned then are applying now later in my life.
Yeah, that's so true. And they say hindsight's 2020, right? Like you look back at things and you realize like that really affected me now. I think it's cool how you talked about, you started a business club, and you guys did events, you ran certain things to give back to the community. Right now, that's happening on campus. Actually, it feels very timely. Just this week, we're having a campaign called Raffle Mania, and it's because students came to our staff and our advancement team, and they said, we want to raised money for an autism organization that helps children with autism learn about oral hygiene and get them the right toothbrushes and things like that. And they wanted to sell
Mhm.
raffle baskets, and it kind of spurred into this bigger campaign where now we have 25 baskets. We've raised almost over $5,000. It's been really cool because of
Yeah.
students saying, I want to do something. I want to help. So I think
Yeah.
that's really great to see that, here we are of, a couple decades later, and those
Yeah.
things are true for how
Yeah.
our students are caring and compassionate, and that aligns really well with our mission. Our mission is we want to prepare graduates to serve society effectively and compassionately. And it starts here. It starts with what you learn in the classroom and what you do on
Mhm.
campus to help make that part of your own personal mission when you get older.
And it brings you closer to your fellow students because you're going in and out and you're learning in classes, and then now you have something that you're all working together for some good, and whether it's a raffle or a whatever fundraiser it may be, it brings the students together in a common goal, and it teaches you how to work towards them goals as well, and you're doing good for the community. So I definitely encourage
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's so great to hear. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about how do you feel that Manor prepared you to be an entrepreneur and to do so many things kind of on your own, but working for yourself, starting a restaurant, and how did Manor prepare you for that? Um, and what's some advice that you would give to people out there who are aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners? What would you say to them?
Well, an entrepreneur, I think, is something that is embedded in you, and I think that if you have that feeling. When I was in at Manor, I worked at a law firm, and I was offered to become a paralegal, and I experienced that, working in an office and working for somebody else. And at the same time, in the one summer, I worked for a family that owned a pretzel bakery. It was a family friend, and they owned a pretzel bakery, and it was family run. And I got to see what it was like as an entrepreneur. And that sparked something for me: family run business, running your own business, being the boss. And then the tools that I received, and I could have went in that direction of paralegal, or I had that opportunity, but when I was at Manor, taking the business courses, getting involved in the fundraiser and being in charge and of running the events, and kind of just really, led me in that direction of wanting to be an entrepreneur. The combination of the experience, and then the combination of the classes, and speaking to the professor and finding out how he was running his business, just all accumulation. Like looking back, I look at thinking about it, I think what sparked me to go in that direction. And I think it was a combination of my life experiences as well as my
Mhm.
learning experience at Manor,
Mhm.
in the courses that I was taking, in business. And I think it just kind of ballooned into wanting to be in business for myself. I tried working for others, and it just wasn't, I like the freedom of being independent, on my own, and Manor gave me the tools, through the classes that I took
Mhm.
with being in business and understanding the economics of how
Mm.
business works and how it affects the business world. And
Mm.
the economics was a great course to take, and management was a very good course as well, business
Mhm.
management. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So it sounds like life experience certainly lends itself to obviously learning lots of things, realizing, oh, I don't like this, or I do like this, and how can
Hmm.
I kind of make this for because it's really hard when you're, a college student, or you're in your early 20s to figure out like, what do I want to do? And that one
Right.
thing that you think then might not be that one thing that, you're going to
Right.
still be in years
Yeah.
later. So tell us a
Right.
little bit about what has it been like owning a restaurant in COVID, and how has that been affected? What are some things that people should know about in supporting local restaurants in this time? And maybe share with us about that.
Well, it was a big learning experience when COVID hit March of 2020. I can't believe it was 2 years. So our restaurant was mainly a sit down restaurant. We did some takeout, some delivery. It wasn't our main focus, but we kind of early into the year realized in January of that year that something wasn't going right. My son thought that we should start getting our online ordering set up and ready to go. Thank God we did, because when our doors shut down, our online orders just started rolling in. People were ordering for online and calling
Mhm.
in, and so our takeout and delivery just took off. And the support of the Glenside community was amazing. I mean, our regular customers, our family, our friends, everyone just really was very, very supportive. So we had the tools in place to accept the demand, although at sometimes it was overwhelming.
Mm.
I'm sure some of our customers, having to wait, an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes
Mhm.
because the orders were just coming in.
Wow.
So the community was amazing. We have, and it's a testament to our brand, and um, being able to manage,
Mhm.
that influx. Supporting local business is so important, because, and it makes me sad because there are some businesses when I ride by and I see their, rent sign up that they didn't survive. My heart goes out to them because
Mhm.
they put everything into them businesses, and unfortunately, some of them could not survive.
Mhm.
My heart goes out to businesses that did it. My farmer's insurance, luckily, I set up an office at my home, and I was able to service and take care of my clients from home for a while. So yeah, so it worked out. It was a matter of being flexible, and that's part of being an entrepreneur, is
Mhm.
being able to be flexible and act and react when certain crises come about.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think some of the business that didn't survive are the ones that weren't able to maybe make that transition. So you have to be, you
Mhm.
got to be versatile in
Right.
making them changes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think being flexible is really what the pandemic taught all of us, whether you own a
Mhm.
business or not, but being
Yeah.
flexible was really the key. I mean, I know that people joke about the word pivot because it was overused and overused, and
Yeah.
but flexible, and our students, they had to be flexible too. They had to,
Right.
one
Yeah.
day classes in person, next day it's online, and they have to figure
Yeah.
out, well, and it was, so I think that's a great life skill that we were all forced to like really get hopefully better at and
Yeah.
learn and excel at. Um, but yeah, I'm so grateful that, you guys and TreVi, the customers supported you. And
Yeah.
have you seen, since COVID is and things are a little bit more like they used to be, are online orders still really popular, or is it more back in the restaurant, or a mix of both?
It's a mix of both. So we put a big sign out front of our restaurant, during COVID, our phone number, our website, all that. So we build up new customers.
Hmm.
And so now we have our new customer base, people that may have not have come into our restaurant. Now,
Right.
they're coming in. I seen in the last couple of weeks a lot more people coming out to the restaurant. Yeah, the online ordering has dramatically dropped, but it's a balance, so we have more people coming out. It's a nice balance right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. And with the weather
Yeah.
getting better, and I think, yeah, you'll see that. But I think it's great you establish yourself as we are a place that we have great food and we can provide it to you in really any circumstance. And
Yeah.
that's great for your brand, as well.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so Gina, I have two more kind of questions for you here. One would be, what advice would you give a current Manor student who is aspiring to one day own their own business? What advice would you share with them? And why is Manor a great option for them as a place to start their education?
So I would say, if you want to be in business for yourself, be in business with something that you have a passion for. I have a passion, I have farmers insurance. I have also a passion for food and a passion for family and a passion for, serving people. That kind of both. You have to
Mhm.
have a passion, whatever it is, because you don't want to feel when it becomes a burden, then it does, you lose that will to get up in the morning. Every day I enjoy getting up and going to work. I come here to service my clients at farmers. On the weekend, you'll see me at TreVi, serving the clients on Friday and Saturday nights, serving them food. We're always engaged in, coming up with innovative foods, and we traveled to Italy, me and my husband, many, many times, bringing back recipes to serve in our restaurant. We have that passion for serving good food and serving wine and exploring. And so you have to have a passion to do whatever it is that you're doing. So whether it's jewelry making or, selling clothes or whatever it may be, whatever that passion is, that's going to get you up in the morning, and that's going to get you. What Manor provides is the education, because without the education of knowing how to manage, how to market yourself, marketing, marketing is so important. That is another key to our success with TreVi during the pandemic, was getting on social media and knowing how to market. Social media and marketing is today very, very important. So when you're in that classroom, learning and taking that information in, because you're going to use that. You might not think, you might be thinking now, you're in the class and you're trying to pass that test, but I still have some of my books, because it's amazing what you're learning in that classroom is going to be applied to your daily
Mhm. That's
duties.
great. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
don't know what you don't know, but you don't, you know what I mean? You don't realize what's
yeah,
going to be so important to you later on. So
yeah,
hearing
yeah,
advice from someone who's kind of lived it and has continued to do it
yeah,
successfully is just really valuable. So thank you, Gina, so
yeah.
much.
You're
My
welcome.
last question for you is, um, obviously, as someone who's been fighting breast cancer for almost a whole year now and doing a fantastic job at being a light to many others and encouraging, what advice or what knowledge would you like to share about having someone who's having breast cancer, and what kind of life perspective has it given you?
It's been very life-changing.
Mm.
This is my second time with breast cancer. I had it 12 years ago. It came back again. And I've, some people don't like to talk about it. They're afraid. I am not that person. I'm going to talk about it. I had chemo. I'm going through radiation. I've had reconstruction surgery. And through it all, I've been working. I've worked the whole entire time through all my treatments, because you got to get your mind, you can't think about it, you can't dwell on it. And if anyone out there is experienced that with yourself or your parents, don't, and one of the things I found was, wow, people are so supportive and loving, and it just work hard, take day to day, don't stress about what tomorrow is going to bring, because just live for today. Because we don't know none of us know what tomorrow will bring, whether I have
Mm.
cancer or I don't have cancer. So
Mhm.
live each day to the fullest and take advantage of every opportunity you can.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice for anybody going through any illness, whether it's breast cancer or any other kind of
Yeah.
disease. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Gina. It's wonderful advice. You're such a, I think you're such a light for so many reasons, and I'm really grateful that you got to share that with our audience today. Thank you, those of you who tuned in for our March virtual alumni engagement series, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, Gina. Have a good day.
Thank you. Go Manor.